First time doing this for those watching. So bear with us if there's technical glitches. Um, Jim, biggest game in Neyland since? Question mark.
I mean,
Biggest game in September. I guess would be the question. Since
I don't know
Neyland.
if that's fair. This might be. I mean, I don't know. I can't really say. Both these teams have a lot of question marks too, so it's kind of um, a big game. I'm gonna say for me, it's the biggest. I don't know. I may be the odd man out here, but you know, this is a big game. This is a season changer for Tennessee at least if they could pull this off.
Yeah, I mentioned September because I always think the third Saturday's a little bit more important. But the third Saturday in October, I mean. But as far as in the biggest game in Neyland in September since at least Florida 3 years ago, probably even Oklahoma, now 10 years ago. I mean, it's been a while since we had an early season test this big and this important, and gonna be fun to talk about. I mean, it's kind of funny because Georgia's played two cupcakes. Really don't know too much about them. I mean, this will be their first real test. We kind of had a pop quiz, I guess, against Syracuse, but I mean, we're going to find out a lot about both teams. But what's your first thoughts heading into this matchup, Jim?
Uh, First thoughts is what are we going to see? Like, what do we get from Joey Aguilar? I mean, we've seen him progress from Syracuse to obviously ETSU. You were talking about cupcakes. To me, Tennessee pretty much played two cupcakes defensive wise.
Yeah.
Georgia's a whole nother animal. I mean, you're looking at a top 5, top 10 defense in the country. Some may argue that they're the best in the country on the defensive side of the ball. So, but yeah, what do we get from Joey Aguilar? What do we get from the wide receivers? Does David Sanders play? How do they handle that situation? Does Jackson Moy play? Like I said earlier, there's a lot of question marks on what is going to happen this weekend. I mean, I know what for sure will happen is the fans will show up. I mean,
Yeah.
me and you will be there, and it's going to be a crazy crowd because, I mean, if you think about it, you talk about biggest game, this crowd will be what the 22 Alabama crowd was, where we haven't beat them in so long.
Yeah.
That's all we want is to win and the fans will show up.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I guess we can just talk about this now, Jim. I mean, that whether it was out of context or not, that comment that Kirby had yesterday about we don't have to really worry about the environment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, context or not, I mean, that's just going to fuel us as fans, as people that'll be in attendance. No doubt. I mean, it should be a borderline dangerous environment. Like, leave your kids at home type of environment. And just speaking on, what's been going on so far with Georgia, I've already mentioned you really don't know anything yet. You're going to find out everything Saturday. But I think the key is, like you said, how does Joey look against a defense that will be the best defense he's ever played? I mean, that's really the story of the game for me.
Yeah, and it's going to be the best defense he plays all season, I believe. I
Most
don't.
likely, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think even Oklahoma is not a better defense than Georgia this year. And let's see. I mean, we've been suspect for our defense this first two games, and mainly because of the injuries. Our top two corners are out. Davian Hobbs is out. Moy is on the threshold of being out. So question marks, question marks, question marks. I
Yeah.
mean,
You know, for me, the biggest question mark is, D line with Moy being out.
Oh yeah,
What's there? You're really going to get your depth tested against Georgia, who is going to try to run the ball. That's just what they do. And especially when you have a guy making his first career road start in Neyland, they're really going to try to lean on that run game probably. So D line's going to have to step up. A lot of guys that we might not know their names yet are going to have to step up in this game because that's the one thing that concerns me the most about the defense is D line depth, especially in this matchup. I mean, that and then the middle of the field in the passing game, which is where Georgia has killed us year in and year out since Tim Banks has been on the hill at Rocky Top. So we'll see how it goes. But, as far as what Georgia's done in the past, just to add on to that, besides attacking the middle of the field, they've always tried to stop our run with like 4 guys.
Yes.
In the middle of the field, and they have been able to do it, which is the frustrating part, because then they can stop our pass game or at least make the holes minuscule. Their corners are playing on islands, and they're good enough to do it in years past. Like I said, we don't really know much yet. And they also have, I hate to admit it, they have outcoached Tennessee every game that Heupel's been there. And that's just the black and white of it. So,
yeah, I was going to say, I mean, Kirby has had Josh's number since he's been, Tennessee's head coach. I can't seem to find it, but I literally just saw a tweet about that. What you're talking about is Josh Heupel has averaged around 35 points per game against all other SEC schools, and just to Georgia is 14.3.
Yeah.
And that's an issue, because I was listening to the VolQuest podcast this morning, and they talked what you just said is they could stop the run with 4 or 5 in the box.
Yeah.
And that was a problem. But again, this is one thing that I'm kind of really confident in. One of the confident sides of me in this game is Tennessee's O-line. They've been playing fantastic. Joey has been touched, I think, once in both games, and he actually completed that pass, which was pretty incredible. But yeah, it's the O-line is the biggest key factor to this game for me. And I'll put the tight ends in there as well. It's the people blocking for our running backs, because if Tennessee could get their run game going and Joey could get comfortable, I think this game is like what ESPN says. I think it's 50-50 right now.
Yeah. The last time I looked at the line, it was Georgia minus 3.5. It's gone down several points since Saturday night. And it's the whole who can be the most pessimistic competition on Vol Twitter versus Georgia Twitter. Yeah, I know you got in on it. I get it, but I will say what's different in years past when Tennessee has played Georgia than what it is this year is that I think this is the best team Tennessee will have put up against Georgia in Neyland in Heupel's era. I mean, 2021, it was the first year Georgia was on their way to a national championship. 2023, it was Milton at quarterback and an improving defense, but wasn't as good as last year's squad. But this year, I've already mentioned Stockton first. I don't think that can be talked about enough. How does he react to the environment?
Right.
And also, I think we might have a quarterback that's fit our system the best since Hendon. And I think if we got that game in 2022 at home instead of in Athens with it raining for a lot of the second half, I think we pull out that win then. And and every other year Georgia has had an experienced quarterback. Like, just forget about rode our way or not. Like Stetson Bennett. However, he's a walk-on, whatever. He was a stud in college, and he killed Tennessee with his legs and through the air. And Carson Beck, by the time he got to Neyland in 2023, he was experienced enough, But Stockton is going to have, like I said, 2 games against Cupcakes at home under his belt. So this is his first real action. And I know he started a playoff game, but neutral side against Notre Dame is nowhere near as high.
Yeah, where was that game played?
I think it was the Sugar Bowl. I don't know, but the point is, neutral side against Notre Dame is nowhere close to on the road at Neyland Stadium. So that's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah, and like I said, the fans are going to be stoked, and that's the main thing. Is we were talking about it at the game. The people that sit next to me is they have to keep the crowd in it. You can't get the crowd out of it. If you let the crowd out of it, that's the end of it. You gotta. Honestly, we need a close game. You have to stay in it, and But yeah, let's talk about it. What are the key factors? What are the key factors for Tennessee to ultimately have the best chance to win?
I'll start on defense first. Um, and I've already talked about it. You've got to cover the middle of the field, and furthermore, you have to confuse Gunnar Stockton.
Mm-hmm.
We can't just go out and man every time. We can't just go out and zone every time. We have to switch up the looks. Keep him thinking, confused, because he's been very conservative so far because he hasn't had to really push the ball down the field. And if you can get him thinking it's a zone when it's a man, or thinking it's a man when it's really a zone, you might get turnovers. And furthermore, you got to get after him, and you got to contain him too, because he can scoot. I think he's more mobile than Carson Beck was these last 2 years. So, and we saw what Stetson Bennett was able to do to us with his legs 3 years ago. Like, it's annoying.
And he reminds me a lot of him in the run game.
Yeah, and even Beck last year when they had that 20-play drive in the third quarter to put him ahead 24-17, he ran it in on 3rd and 7 from like the 15-yard line. Like that killed us. You're going to have to contain them. You're going to have to cover the middle of the field and keep them confused. Those are my keys on defense.
Yeah, and if I'm pointing at one position group, I'm going to say defensive backs, but mainly the safeties. I mean, the safeties, you got to control that. And it's funny, I've been seeing people on Twitter tagging Tim Banks saying, "Hey, they're gonna use the middle of the field." I don't know if you know from the past couple years.
Yeah.
And it's preparation, and hopefully Tim Banks figured it out to where he could keep this game close. And hopefully this offense is what we have been seeing. Obviously, ETSU, throw that out of the water, but also Syracuse was, I think, the 93rd ranked defense. So again, I get it's a Power 4 school and all that, but it's interesting. I think those safeties really, really need to play their best. And what do we get from Ty Redmond? Yep. I mean, freshman, he's been playing great. We need him to step up big time because you got Zachariah Branch on the other side. I'm pretty sure Dylan Bell's still there. So
has Branch not been lining up in the slot these first 2 weeks?
I couldn't tell you honestly. Well, last week I was at the game, as you know, and the week before I was watching ours. So,
well, the slot also ties into the middle of the field. So McMurray, Boo, they're going to have to be on their game too, as far as that goes. Another thing on defense, I mentioned it earlier too. I mean, the defensive line depth, without Moy, assumedly, I guess we'll find out. We'll start to get the clearer picture tomorrow. I mean, you just firsthand account from you that you told me last week, you thought he looked healthy just in the Vol walk. I mean, there's he's not playing football, but go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I was right on the fence, and he came to our side walking around, smiles, walking good. I mean, I know it's his elbow or shoulder, whatever it is, but that dude's stout. He looks like he wanted to play that game. So I'd be shocked if Jackson Moy is not at least attempting to suit up for this game. I expect him to play. I mean, Davian Hobbs is another story. I think Hobbs will be out until probably Mississippi State. I don't think he's in question, but
that was such a tough injury.
Huge.
I mean, I think he's about to come into his own this year, assuming that injury hasn't set him back tremendously. But I think as far as Moy is concerned, this is a game that if you are above 60%, you get on the field. Like, I think that's the way these players are looking at it. They're a little bit dinged up. I mean, it better be like that. I wouldn't want some nagging little inconvenience to keep you from playing in this game. I mean, I hope that's the attitude that these boys are bringing in to Neyland on Saturday. But are we? And I mentioned this before we started, and I know you laughed at me. Are we 100% sure Jermod McCoy is not going to play?
I'm 95% sure he's not going to play, but there's that little 5% where it's like, does Josh have that ace up his sleeve to just be like, yeah, no, he's playing. Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, and Gibson, dude, like Gibson, I understand like they're being very secretive about this injury, but like to me, it's just like at least tell us like, hey, yeah, he's got a shoulder fracture, whatever. He's going to be out for 5 weeks, 6 weeks. But it's so I don't know. I hope it's mind tricks. Obviously, it's probably not. But
and I wouldn't want Jermont to do something that jeopardizes his future in the NFL.
Right.
And same thing with Gibson. I think he has talent to get there someday too. But we'll still have Hood running around. We'll still have Ty Redmond out there. And again, especially with the younger guys on defense, there's going to be guys making names for themselves if Tennessee were to win this game. I believe that 100%. There's going to be guys step up, whether it be Ty Redmond, Nathan Robinson, take your pick. Like, there's going to be guys stepping up. Does Ben Bolton play 30 snaps again at linebacker? I mean, we'll just have to see. But what about the offense now? Because I know my first key, but I started with the defense, so you can go first as far as the offense goes.
I mean, are we talking other than Joey Aguilar or?
I mean, if you want to go into that some more, yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, Joey Aguilar is obviously the guy that needs to be that X factor. I mean, he's the quarterback, leader of the team, but man, another thing I heard from VolQuest is we haven't had almost any 30-plus yard passes against Georgia in the past couple years, which is a big deal.
Yep.
And that starts with what we were talking about, where Georgia could stop the run with four or five guys. And if they could do that, you're going to have a real big problem. But again, we're talking offense now. The biggest thing with this Tennessee offense is obviously the running backs. And we got 3 beasts behind Joey Aguilar. And for the running backs to work, like I said, I brought up the whole offensive line. And let's talk about David Sanders real quick.
It's very interesting, yeah.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on it? Because honestly, to me, you do not start him.
I think you start your best 5. I don't really care. I mean, if he just put him out there, because I was listening to the film guy Brooks Austin, the film guy.
One that said we're not going to score any.
Yeah, that was taken out of context. But anyway, he said that that's a segment to generate clickbait. So
I got you.
But anyway, he was on Talk Sports today with John Reed, and he was saying, most of the time, and Kirby has done this a lot, you throw a 5-star out there and see if they can swim. So to me, I think you put him out there, and unless he gets pancaked 3 times in a row, I think you roll with him. I mean, and I know Jesse Perry graded out really high at tackle the other day.
Yes,
but you're playing ETSU, and in practice, they deemed he was the best option at right guard. I think I want my best 5 out there. That's just where I land on it. So,
well, you're not wrong. I feel like there's no wrong answer here. I don't know. Like I say, the first drive, maybe keep him off the field, and then you find a drive or two to get him incorporated. And if he's doing good, you stick with it.
Yeah.
But those 5 guys have had 2 games under their belt together, gaining chemistry. But I would love a David Sanders right next to Jesse Perry, dude. I think that's a really good combo. And Sam Pendleton, I mean that line is stout. Probably the best we've had since Heupel's been here, in my opinion.
We'll start to find out Saturday if they truly are. So
yeah.
I will say, just before we get off the offensive line for a little bit, what a find by the staff and Jesse Perry, at least so far. A 3-star guy who was like a wing T tackle in high school, and he has gained tons of weight since he got here and has played his way into a starting position, even if Sanders does end up playing. So kudos to Ellerby, which doesn't get enough kudos for my book as far as this fan base goes, but which I understand. He's frustrating sometimes, especially last year. But anyway, What are we thinking pass game wise, especially if because I was this was running through my mind today. If Georgia is dropping, 6 to 7 guys in the secondary, I thought our screen game looked pretty good against Syracuse. We really didn't do much of that against ETSU because we were, ahead of the sticks. I think the screen game and working the tight ends is the way to get the pass game going if they're all that far back defending the deep ball. What are your thoughts on that?
I think our wide receivers this year are way more athletic than last year.
They're definitely younger and more dynamic so far.
Well, I mean, speed-wise, just athleticism in general, they're better. Obviously, Chris Brazel's back his year 2. He looks a lot more comfortable in the offense. It's what do we get from Mike Matthews and Braylon Staley? Because if they could get that, pass game going and open up the run, again, it's very hard to beat a Tennessee football team when the run game is over like 200 yards. I mean, it's almost impossible. Not impossible, but you know what I mean. But it's Mike Matthews has to step up. He stepped up against ETSU. Obviously, it's ETSU, and we're going to keep saying that. But that's what we expect from Mike Matthews.
Yeah, I mean,
and Braylon Staley and Chris Brazel.
I'm loving the connection to Brazel to this point. I think they're on the same page a lot. Mm-hmm. Even that first touchdown the other day, does Nico even see that last year? Him standing in the corner in between two guys?
I was running out of bounds, bro.
I mean, I don't like – I like that he looks for him. Staley has been great so far. Matthews, he was a little missing in the first game, but last game he made that play down the field, which is really kind of a fluky play, but we might need to pull something like that to get this game going in our favor. I mean, I wouldn't mind an arm punt like that on third and long at some point in the game. Like, even if they do end up intercepting it, I mean, those are the kind of plays they're going to have to make, in my opinion, to win this game. You're going to have to make some crazy good plays. That's what it comes down to a lot. I mean, how many plays did Jalen Hyatt make 3 years ago against Alabama? How many plays did – hell, I don't know. I mean, Dylan Sampson was running for his life in the first half against Alabama last year, and then he ended up 2 touchdowns, 120-some-odd yards against Alabama. I mean, you just got to keep knocking out the door. So, do you think Deshaun Bishop wears gloves this week?
I was just about to say that.
Especially after you drop.
To me, better, because that was a 30-plus yard catch right there. But hey, I want him to be comfortable. If he's comfortable with no gloves, whatever, I don't really care. But catch the dang ball.
I mean, if you're not going to wear gloves, you better catch the ball and not
catch
fumble.
The dang ball. That's what catch the dang ball.
Catch the ball and hold on to the ball if you're not going to wear gloves, because that's the first thing everybody's going to say. And that's the first thing that I thought when he dropped that ball the other day. But sorry. I like, as far as our offense goes, I like the fact that we have 3 guys to rotate in at running back in this game, because they're going to get beat up. I mean, somebody's going to get dinged at some point and get dazed or get bruised. They're going to try to wear you down on defense and offense. But as far as running backs go, I like the fact that you have 3 guys, 3 different styles, 3 different looks to throw at them. I mean, and I imagine we'll start with Bishop. And I think Starr has earned his way to getting the second drive in this game, the second most snaps. He looks great so far. But how much do you think that's going to factor in on Saturday, just having 3 guys that you can rotate in and out?
You need to get some water.
I've got some.
No, but and it's nothing against Peyton Lewis. I love Peyton Lewis. I really do.
He wasn't getting done many favors, because he was, when the offensive line was struggling, they did struggle in UTSU. He was the one in the game, like getting tackled in the backfield. But go ahead.
Now, if you don't remember, I mean, my chat GBT prediction was all over Peyton Lewis.
Yeah.
So one of these games, Peyton Lewis is going off. And he actually played really well last year against Georgia. So I expect him to be confident. I don't know if they switched it up yet because Peyton Lewis to me hasn't done anything to lose that spot.
Yep.
And Star Thomas, I mean, all three running backs get plenty of snaps. I mean, Star Thomas has been absolutely phenomenal when he plays. Even in the pass blocking area, when he has to block, he blocks. And yeah, I think Peyton Lewis. I think this is going to be his breakout game. I think this will be a good time to let it out.
You're right that he did have a decent game last year down in Athens. I mean, he was getting 4 or 5 yards carry. I mean, and that's another thing that gives me confidence is Tennessee was finally able to run the ball a little bit last year against Georgia, even in a road environment. I mean, so hopefully we can build on that. But at the end of the day, like we've said already, Joey, I think, is going to be the one that's going to have to carry the torch on Saturday. I mean, and that's a big ask for him, and what will undoubtedly be his toughest test of his 6-year career.
Easily,
but I think he does have the confidence and the will to get it done. But he's going to have to cut down on those misses high. He's going to have to get the timing down a little bit better on the screens to the outside. And I think he's going to have to use his legs at least 10 times in this game too. So the only thing that concerns me about that is, again, it's Georgia. Like, your first time against a big-time opponent. And, are the lights too big or does he rise to the occasion? That's the big question for the offense to me. So,
no, you're not wrong. But again, everyone was comparing probably the best defense he's seen at the Power 4 level is Clemson. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, oh, well, he was 18 for 41 and threw for 214 yards. I was like, bro, that team sucked. That team was terrible. And to me, he's got the best talent around him that he's had in his career.
Easily, yeah.
And again, I can't emphasize this enough. Tennessee gets the running game going, Joey Aguilar will be just fine. Because if they have to drop more into the box to stop the run, Joey's going to be just fine. He's proved that time and time again. When he has time in the pocket, Joey has not given us any reason to doubt him. Even if it's against ETSU and Syracuse. He's looked poised and looks like a veteran.
Even though we were playing, mediocre to bad opponents in these first 2 weeks, I was expecting a lot more struggles from a guy who's only been here since June. So that gives me more confidence than I had before the season going into this game. I think if Boo Carter were to ever play offense this year, it's going to be on Saturday. But I really don't think that happens.
No. I think he messed that up.
100%. But I don't believe ever really in the secret insert an opponent playbook. But with it only being the third game, I think this is the one time I might believe in it, having played the opponents we've played. So we'll just have to see, man. What Boo did in the punt return game the other day, if he can pull one of those, like kind of like what D. Williams was able to pull off 2 years ago against A&M.
Yep.
It could flip the game. I think that's where Boo's going to have his spot as far as, touching the ball and trying to make something happen. I really doubt at any point this year he gets in on offense. But if it were to happen, it's going to be Saturday. That's just my opinion. So,
no, you're definitely not wrong. Definitely not wrong. To me, Boo's going to play as probably the most snaps he's played this year Saturday. Because with McCoy out, with Gibson out, assumedly. Listen, people listening, we have no idea. We're just fans. We have no inside source. We are just kind of a conspiracy group right now that we just want them to play. You know what? Is that a sin? No, it's not.
It's a good way to put it. It would give us a lot better chance to win if we had our full secondary in. But I will say, Colton Hood, I think, is already better than Ricky Gibson. and that's no offense to Ricky Gibson. I love him. I love what he was able to accomplish last year. But Hood, he looks just like what McCoy looks like in the early part of last year. Like he looks like that kind of lockdown corner. So when we do have the full plethora, I think it's going to be super hard to pass on Tennessee. But as far as Saturday goes, Redmond, Hood, McMurray, Turrentine, Farouk, everybody who gets in the game
Boo
is going to have,
Carter.
and yeah, especially Boo, they're going to have to step up. I mean, that's all there is to it, especially over the middle of the field, too. So, you have anything else, X's and O's wise, to get to for this game, Jim?
Um, Not really. I kind of want to talk about an officiating standpoint. Are they going to let them be physical? Because Colton Hood, speaking of Colton Hood, is a very, very physical corner.
100%, yeah.
And I feel like that could be a game changer. I'm not going to blame the refs. It's just he is a physical corner.
Yeah.
And how many of those does he get, free of charge? Because there was a couple calls they probably missed in the Syracuse game. They didn't really test him in the ETSU game. So,
yeah.
But
I think he had like one pass breakup against ETSU, maybe. But speaking of that, I mean, just corners being physical, Georgia's corners are always physical. So it better be going both ways if they get one on Colton Hood. So
the crowd will let them know. I mean, the crowd's going to let them know real quick. But again, another officiating thing. Big thing that Georgia loves to do. We heard about it in the SEC media days about this new rule enforcement. Is that implemented this year? I have not figured out if it is or not. But with the defensive linemen that move together,
yeah,
and sometimes makes offensive linemen flinch. Is that a rule that is implemented today?
I haven't seen it called yet, but
I've seen it, and I've seen them do it.
I thought we did it against ETSU while they were backed up and we sacked them in the almost safety. I thought we were doing it on that possession. I was like, I thought they were about to throw a flag, but I haven't seen it yet. And you're right, Georgia does that at least 20 times a game.
More. They do that at least once a series.
Yeah. So I don't know the intricacies of the rules, the exact interpretation, but if it's not being enforced, I mean, if it's a rule, it has not been enforced yet at all. And I don't really know how much that injury rule has been enforced so far.
It's happened twice already, where in actually both games where guys just fall down. And from what I read about that rule is that the ref has to see the guy just drop and see it happen, even if they see it on the scoreboard. Because Tennessee, if it happens, they're showing it on the scoreboard just to make it a point. But I mean, again, I don't know if that is in this year's thing, because what I'm about to talk about is the tempo. Because that is a huge, huge factor in Tennessee's game. And we talked about it. Tennessee can't be having 3 and outs. They have to stay on the field. They have to, but they have to use that tempo. That tempo is a huge weapon.
Yeah, and it'll be the first time we've seen it against Georgia and Eland since 2021, because Milton that year we really didn't go fast. At least not as fast as we had the first 2 years. I mean, and even with the tempo in 2021, I mean, there was not much we were going to do with that roster to beat that Georgia team. But that's a huge factor. You're right. I mean, if we can get them going and they start dropping like flies and they don't get it called, the refs might come into it, man. But, just with the way our offense is, it does stall you out, but it doesn't mean that you have to, stall out the drive. It gets you out of the rhythm. It doesn't mean you have to stall out the drive. That's the thing where sometimes I think the offense relies on tempo exclusively when you're playing a top-ranked opponent. Just because you get stalled, something happens, you got to be able to get the rhythm going again. That's going to be big too. I mean, you're not going to have a perfect drive that lasts 2 minutes in real time every time you try to go down the field. I mean, that's just not how football works. So, overcome that for sure. Anything else on the refs? I'm not too concerned because SEC refs are kind of scared of home environments. So, We got a lot of calls against Alabama last year. We got a lot of calls against Alabama 3 years ago. So that's not my biggest concern.
What is your biggest concern?
D-line depth. As far as going into this game, D-line depth and the coaching factor.
Middle of the field.
Can Heupel and Banks not get out coached this time by Kirby and Mike Bobo? That's D-line depth and that. Those are my biggest concerns, but we'll just have to see. I don't feel the need to give a prediction, really. I'm just ready to see the game happen. If I had to say anything, I would say, just based on what I've seen so far, Tennessee looks like the better team, but I would have to see it to believe it. So, and I'm not going to predict Tennessee to lose, so I'm not going to give a prediction. How about that?
I mean, I'll say it. Georgia wins 70-0. And that is my official prediction.
No chance.
And honestly, I'll say it live. Hey, I'm putting the house on Georgia spread.
Okay.
I'm putting the house on it. Minus 3.5. And
I mean,
if anyone knows me, trust me, that's the play.
I mean, Tennessee honestly they honestly should just stay at the hotel, just don't even get off the bus. Just send the scout team out there, just
Yes.
rest up for UAB, which is the truly bigger game anyway.
We haven't even talked about game day coming to town.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Any guest picker predictions?
I really want it to be Morgan Wallen, but it's not. I know he's on tour. Doesn't mean it's like out of the realm of possibility, but I highly doubt it. From the most trusted news source we got, Richard West.
Richard G.
He did say, confirmed sources say that a certain female that grew up in the hills of East Tennessee have been contacted to be the guest picker of game day. If she turns it down, the second person on the list is a famous musician that grew up near Knoxville as well.
That's either, I think that Richard G is, I know it's a joke, but he's right a lot.
No. It's no, I don't care what anyone says. It is not a joke anymore.
He's been right a lot. So
Richard G is honestly, here's my theory, is Richard G is a dang burner account for Danny White. That's what I think it is.
It's Austin Price burner account.
That makes sense too. That makes sense too. AP in the background?
Yeah. Dolly would be great. Morgan would be good. I would love.
I'm over Dolly, bro. I'm over Dolly. I don't want someone that doesn't know football.
We did have her at the game 2 years ago, if you remember.
Yeah.
So
and I'd take Peyton again. I would.
Yeah. I really, in my heart, my home run pick would be Johnny Knoxville.
Ooh,
that'd
be a good pick.
That would be cool. He hasn't talked about it much, but I know he's a Tennessee fan. I've seen him talk about it enough.
Yeah,
and his name is freaking Johnny Knoxville. I mean,
But who do you think it really is? Who's the first one that comes to mind on that first? Is it Dolly?
You have a bunch of names, Dolly, Morgan. I hate to even say it, but Kenny freaking Chesney.
Yeah, I swear.
I'll
be there. I'll boo. I don't care if they can hear me or not.
I wouldn't mind if they trotted Tony out there.
Yes.
I think that would be cool. But I don't know. It'll be cool to see who it is. I know John Reed was talking about this too the other day on yesterday's Talk Sports about the guy on Severance who went to Tennessee.
Which one?
I forget his name, but
the main guy.
He was in Mission Impossible too. This past year.
Hold on.
But that's a guy.
Severance cast. Wait, what? Which guy is it? White guy?
I don't watch Severance, so I don't know. I know that's
now. I have to look this up. No, we gotta know before we.
Before we sign off for everybody,
Oh wait, no, wasn't Adam Scott.
No.
I'll name him off. Will you know the name if I say it?
Yes.
John Turturro?
No.
Zach Cherry?
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, that's like the 3 main characters. God
I
dang
think
it.
it's recent Severance. But anyway, we'll tweet it if we find it, I guess. But
No, I'm committed, people. Oh, I know who it is. It's the
Tremel
guy.
Coleman. Tremel
Yeah,
Coleman.
yo, I love that guy. He's kind of creepy in the show, but it's fine.
Yeah, he was talking about him because he got his master's at Tennessee, I think.
Good guy, good actor.
And he's talked about it. So could be him, could be a number of people. But that's all I know to yap about this game. I'm super excited to be there. I'll be tailgating right near Cool Beans, and I guess
Same.
you'll join me too. And I'll have a cooler with ice for you. And
Are you going to game day or you're not going to game day?
I'm not going to game day. I don't want to be there that early. So I'll probably get to campus around 8 or 9, and I'll be there.
What do you mean? That's when game day starts.
Yeah, but you're not going to get a good spot if you get there when it starts.
You ain't gonna get a good spot unless you're there the day before.
I'm tailgating right behind Cool Beans in the park there, Mountain Castle Park. I'll have a cooler filled with ice for your Twisted Teas, and we're gonna tear the place down.
Tear it down.
Go Vols.
Go Vols. Knoxville get burned to the ground if this happens. I'm just letting you know right now. If you're there, be kneeling loud, please. Lose your voice. Don't care. All right. Go Vols, baby.